Hey, hey, hey. Hope everybody's doing good. Carl Bryan coming at you with my boy Kenya Pat. Kenya Pat, what's happening, my brother?
Low, low, low. Hey, I was just talking to Adrian, little life in Africa story. I was out
Yeah.
golfing out golfing yesterday morning with Mark and teaching him to play a little bit. And it's awesome when you see animals of different types running across the fairway, like baboons and monkeys and Egyptian geese, and a bird flew over. You could hear it coming. It was probably like an 8-foot wingspan. It was like a marabou stork. Never seen it like it. So it's just awesome. Just so fun. So fun.
Wow. Do you think Mark, how old is he? Is he 18? How old is he? How old's Mark?
He's 19.
Is he like
Yeah.
digesting this or what? Like, it's kind of wild, right? Like, is he able to
Well,
appreciate it at that age?
oh, he totally loves it. Yeah. And he's in his first year golf. So he almost broke 100 yesterday, but
Oh,
probably
really?
in June. Like it, yeah.
Are you any good? What's your,
Am I any good?
yeah.
I'm actually going to applying for my handicap, and I think it's going to be about 25.
20, okay, yeah, okay. So you're 100. So you shoot 100, is that roughly?
Yeah, like I shot a 91 yesterday, so usually I'm about
Oh, that's
95.
good. Oh, cool. Well, there you go. Cool. There we go. Well, to get out there and swing that golf club, man. I can hit it pretty good, just from playing hockey for many years, but I don't have I don't know, something about golf, man. Golf, all my buddies love golf. I get asked to play golf. It feels like once a day, definitely once a week. And I just don't have the bug, man. I don't know. You know what I do? Where I used to live, everybody is probably bored to tears, but whatever. Uh, I used to live like there was a 12-hole golf course that was, I don't think it wasn't
Yeah,
a par three, but probably like par four. 12 holes, fantastic, right? I leave wanting nine is actually probably enough, but anyways, 12. I leave wanting, kind of want to come back tomorrow, next week, whatever, right? Never do, but feel like it. And that's
yeah.
about right. 18, I'm like, can we go home, please? I want to get out of here. My buddy, they go 36. They're like, oh, we're going around again. I'm like, I'm going to have
Well,
a nap.
if you
Anyway,
take a cart, you can. If you're walking it, after 18, you're kind of done.
yeah,
But
yeah, fair enough. Well, no, me, I'm in the cart. Don't worry about that. I'm in the cart. I'm still done after 18. But anyways, but I like a round of golf once in a while, but I'm not the golf guy. Anyways, on that note, now that everybody knows our golf history, Pat, let's open up a couple lines and say hello. And guys, as per always, this is a Q&A call. You guys provide the Q, we provide the A. In a perfect world, what we'll do is we'll keep it semi and in fact totally related to the software, but definitely semi-related to the software. And then, guys, by the way, if you didn't listen in, let's have a look if Nabil is here. He's not here, but Nabil, we opened him up on what's today, Tuesday. So last Thursday, and he basically just said, guys, I got a big thank you, and he closed a $60,000 client. And if you go to listen to it, you'll see basically he's given us kudos on getting that deal done, and that might be worth going to watch or listen to the recording. So not a bad idea to plunk your question in here, guys, because Pat and I every once in a while come up with something pretty intelligent. So how's that sound?
once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. I say some pretty stupid things, but hey, I apologize. Anyways, so on that note, we need some questions, and before we get some questions, I'm going to open up some folks. Let's go, Randy Cressel. Randy, let's open you up, see what you got to say, what you get going on, see if you get any questions, see if you can inspire the coaches listening, and many will be listening to the recording as well, by the way. There he is, Randy Cressel, you are live. Can you hear us? Oh. Hang on, Patty, you there? Am I here still?
I hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, Randy, we can't. Oh, so we're here. Randy, where are you, buddy? We can't hear you, Randy. Try one more time, bud. Okay, something going on. That you must have your. I don't think you get your mic going because you're unmuted, but we can't hear you, Randy. So I'm going to put you back on mute. If you work it out, put up your hand and we'll say hello. Okay, let's go up. Nikki Swartzwelder. A pretty cool name. Nikki with 2 Ks. Looking much like Nikki Sixx. Maybe she's got some pumping the drum. And Nikki Sixx. What did he do? Was he the singer? I think he was the singer. I don't know. I think that's Motley Crue. Nikki, we're trying to say hello. You are self-muted. You got to unmute yourself. Come on, Nikki. We know you're there. We can hear you breathing, but not really. Can you, Pat? We're not doing very well here today, buddy. Maybe nobody wants to talk to us. Maybe we haven't started this thing. Come on, Nikki. Okay. Nikki, we're going to keep moving. All right. Johnny. Oh, what just happened there? Something happened. Nothing happened. Where are we going next? Johnny Urban. These cool names. What are all these cool names? I got the name Carl Bryan. I get called Brian.
First
probably
names.
Dave. I know exactly. That's what. Yeah. A good buddy of mine, Ken Kinney. I played hockey with him when I played for Team Canada there overseas, and Ken Kinney won a couple Allen Cups and a hell of a goalie, and he just passed away about 12 months ago, the poor bastard. But anyways, he called me the man with 2 first names. In fact, I've had a few people call me that, but Ken Kinney did. Okay, so Johnny Urban, another cool. There we go, Johnny.
Hey,
Talk to us, please.
Hey,
Oh,
can you can hear me, huh?
We can. Johnny, what's happening? Johnny
Yay.
Urban.
Yay! I'm glad my my earplug headset was working.
Hang on, this is but hang on, that's Joni then. Is it Joni Urban?
No, it's Johnny.
Oh, it's John. Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, so cool. Excuse the trying to work it all out here. Very cool name. You a singer or what's going on?
If
I look at your birth certificate, what's it gonna say?
It's actually gonna say Johnny Marie McClelland. I'm very Irish.
Well, there you go. Cool. So where's Urban come from? Is your married name?
Yes, my husband.
Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Cool. Well, he's got a cool last name. I can see why you married him.
Yeah. Well, among other things.
So Johnny, tell us, inspire us. We got lots of coaches listening. What are you up to?
Yes. I am. The best the definition of what I'm doing is plugging along. Yes. I am learning. I get into the program almost every single day, and I'm learning something. I'm listening to recording. I am following along. I am still in overwhelm. But it is. I am breaking it down as basically. Okay, what is in the PAS? What is it I'm trying to sell? What is it I'm trying to?
I get you. I know.
Yes, and so I am slowly, gradually putting it all together in my head so I can clearly articulate when I get in front of a person. So I am really
so
close.
Tell me,
yes.
Johnny, I get a question. Okay, so doing great. Give me your background. What's your? Give me the Johnny 101 here.
My background. I've been a life success coach for nearly 20 years. And,
cool.
And while I was doing that, I was also a working hairstylist in a salon, and very successful in that area. I know business like the back of my hand. I'm a senior leader with Tony Robbins. So I learn massive amounts every time I go to one of his events. We're getting ready to do another one this weekend. And so I've learned so much business savvy just being in his environment, because that's what he does. He teaches us to be the best that we can be, and also in the business. So yes. So when Curtis invited me to join this, I've known Curtis for many, many years through a couple of environments, Tony being one of them. And I go, hey, I think I already know a lot of this information. which is very, very true. I'm very good at business, growing it. But what I'm having a struggle with is learning your particular software and system. Because I know business, I know everything, but it's like trying to understand the process and learning it and articulating how to basically sell the software or what needs to go in there. And I don't know, am I on the right wavelength or am I totally off base?
No, not at all. No, you look, at the end of the day. Well, okay, let me just have a look here. Let's see. We don't have any. We need some questions here, folks. So no, let's do a little. Let's go into coaching mode here. So what I would do, because at the end of the day, look, there's no rocket science, right? In between your ears, you own a computer that would make NASA's eyes water, right? That is a bad thing because it is too complicated, and that's what you're doing right now. You're complicating it. You got all this experience. You know what I mean? But so you just got to go and deliver it, right? You were obviously a very successful hairdresser with a name like Johnny Irvin. If I would have guessed, I would have gone, I bet you've been a kick-ass hairdresser in your day. But anyway, so clearly you could help a hair salon, right? If you could help a hair salon, then a day spa, nail, what am I saying? Like wife goes and gets her nails done, right? Like that kind of joint, whatever you call that, nail technician. To do these types of businesses. So, one of the, you know what I mean? They're all pretty straightforward. So that would make sense that you fall into a little bit of a niche. You can speak very intelligently to it, right? See, when I'm selling to somebody, like, in our world, like we talk, like we're business coaches, right? So we talk about things like lost leaders and unique selling propositions to a business coach is very 101. If I start using garble that they've never heard of, like an example, a realtor speaks with listings, right? So it's like, I got X listings this week. Well, if you were a business coach and you said, hey, I got a bunch of listings, we'd be like, what the hell are you talking about, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? So there's a break in rapport. What I'm getting at there is if I want to sell you something, building rapport makes sense. Well, you've already got a bunch of rapport. You'll automatically have rapport with a hair salon because you've been successful with it and you talk their language, right? Real simple. So, cut a long story short, you go in there. I mean, the software is not rocket science. How much time have you spent playing around with the software?
The PAS, not so much lately. I got in there and started plugging in some artificial numbers to play around with it. I got to that point, and then I got into the e-learning system. Because but your problem is you're dabbling, right? Dabble here, dabble there. You should have just gone into, you got to go into profit acceleration software like Pat at the end of, pretty much at the end of the call, or at least during the call every single time. He says, guys, you've got to go in there and use your software because there's no other way to excel at it, right? So you need to book off, 2 hours a day for 5 days, 10 hours in total, and really get to know this animal. Like, Pat, can you see his screen here, Johnny? Can you see? Yes.
Yeah. Could you hit the XYZ daycare or whatever, please, Pat? If you don't mind. So watch this, Johnny, right? So like you're just going into the software and here it is. You haven't been there for a bit, but this is it. And like, because you're like, well, how am I going to help these guys? Right? Well, this is going to populate in a sec here. There we go. So just hit implementation for us. Actually, no, sorry. Stay where you are. Sorry about that. Look at this, Johnny, right? Like there's 12 areas. See the left-hand side? There's 12 areas. Market dominated position lead. So with any business, a hair salon, nail technician, otherwise, go to these 12 areas, help them put it in place. And then look at the summary, right? Like he's got a 5% increase in all of the areas. Now go to the top right-hand side and you got $360,000 of increased profit with this, and they never made more than a 5% improvement in any one area, right? And you and I both know that we could walk into a hair salon, have a look at their retail space, and we could help them improve sales by a heck of a lot more than 5% falling off a log, right? Part of what I probably do is tell them to stop buying from, here's a mistake that you tell me if you agree with this. A hair salon, they've got this little retail space and they're buying, by the way, Johnny, is this helpful? Am I helping here?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we walk into a hair salon and we look at the retail space and they got like 5 different brands, right? Like, might be showing my age here. Revlon. Is Revlon still a thing? I don't know. Is Revlon even a thing?
At Walmart.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, so pretend the cool Revlon Platinum, right? But anyway, so there's 5 different types of shampoo, conditioner, etc., right? Well,
Right.
there are 5 labels up in the retail space, and it's very seldom very exciting in that it's a very small space. But they got all these stupid brands. Why? Because they're sweethearts and they want everybody to love them and they hate saying no. So everybody who comes in and says, buy my shampoo, buy my conditioner, buy my gel wax, etc., they go, oh, I'll give it a crack. And then they end up with 5 different distributors, means they got 5 different people to deal with, 5 different deliveries, 5 different invoices, 5 different this, that, and the other, right?
Right.
And it's just
Right.
like stupidity. And then they're buying bulk from no one. So what you do is you say, what's the best? Okay, everybody else, remember success, growth is yes, success is no, right? They got to learn to say no. I don't need to meet them if they own a hair salon. They want to love everybody, want everyone to love them, whatever, right? So they got to pick one, the best one. They got to call their distributor and say, look, I'm making some hard decisions around here. I'm going with you or the competitor, right? The next best. I need to know what the best deal is that you're going to do, and I'm only going to buy from one person in the future, right? So if you want it to be you, I want you to put together an order that I'm going to buy next month, and I want to know what you're going to do for me when I'm going to buy in bulk.
Yeah.
And the guy's going to send through an offer. Well, now it's like because again, remember 5% improvements. If we help them buy with a 5% discount, again, look at Pat's screen right now, right? Like that's all we got to do is small, little, subtle improvements. But most importantly, I think everybody, and this, Johnny, isn't for you only, right? This is for everybody listening. But the biggest thing we did with that business owner is we just got rid of 4 suppliers. We got rid of 4 phone calls, 4 deliveries, 4 invoices, 4 of everything. And this is one of the greatest things that you could do for them. And of course, they've got the same thing going on in other parts of the company, right? So anyways, I'm going down a rabbit hole a little bit, but you know how to help a hair salon. What I just gave you as that example, I could throw it to you and you could expand upon it, give me a bunch of great ideas. So the software is just designed to help you get in front of a business owner. You're going to ask them some real simple questions. Once you play with the software, you're going to see it all. You're not going to have 5% improvements. They're going to say 20, 25, 30% improvements, and then you water it all down, make it all roughly 5, the way Pat has here. And you're going to change their existence in a very real, tangible way. Right. So you're in your head a little bit. You're complicating it, but that's not a surprise. And I think also, in fact, I said this on my podcast this week, but like our brain is not designed to make us successful. Our brain is designed to protect us, right? Like to save us. You know, the saber-toothed tiger was chasing us. You know, like Kenya Pat, right? When he's golfing, right? You get the saber-toothed tiger chasing him on the 18th hole. No wonder he's such a good golfer, right? But anyway, but you know what I mean? That's what your brain's designed to do. So your brain is in no way designed to help you be successful. So if you leave it to its own devices, it'll take you to safety. It'll take you to don't take a risk. And we know that all success lives in a risk for you, me, Pat, and the hair salon I just described, right? So you're in your head, you're complicating it a little bit, but if you just go to first principles, your job is to get somebody on the phone or face to face and search out problems that they have and then solve them with or without the software, right? But the software is going to give you the shortcut on steroids.
Okay. I have a question is that if I do get in there and just get in there and play with it and everything, would I be ready to do a roll play in about a week?
Oh yeah. With Holly?
Yeah.
You totally, look, you don't even, Holly is like superstar. So you don't even need to, you never even looked at the software before. You could do a role play with Holly. I mean, clearly that's not ideal and that's not what I would recommend by any stretch of the imagination, but she'll make it dummy proof totally. So yeah, just go play with it so that when you're with Holly, you get like, you know, maximize your time with Holly. So yeah, the more you play with it between now and then, the better you'll be. But a week is more than, if you spend, this stuff's very intuitive, right? If you spend a solid 2 hours legitimately going through it, you're going to understand it at a very high level. You spend more than that, you're going to be super familiar. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look, is this live, Pat?
Yeah, it's live. I just go to training on the left menu. And like after you click the home button there, you'll see training, click on training, click on software training. and just watch these videos down the side. Just click logging in the, in the dashboard, and there it is.
Yeah.
Play it. It gives you the length. It's not long. So I'd say watch a video, go and do it. Watch another video, go and do it. And in a couple hours, you'll know this really well. And then Holly just makes you a pro with it. So.
Okay. Good idea. Okay. And then I have another distinction with the hair business.
Yeah, please do.
Is that I know here in California, we have basically it's two businesses under one roof. And I know there's other states that also allow subleasing of a building. Some don't,
Yep.
some do. So we have a big mix of types of hair salon businesses here. We have, number one, we have franchises, which virtually every state has. They're not, I don't think they're going to want to talk with me because they have their own systems. Then we have salons where they're salon suites, where somebody has come in and taken a building, taken a business and divided up into all these different rooms.
Yeah, little flavor. Yep.
Yeah. And then we have this other flavor of somebody has an open salon, and each station is rented out to somebody.
Yep.
So there's two businesses under one roof.
Yep.
So,
yeah, cool. Yeah. So there's different, so the three different, the different kinds, you're going to help them differently, like the franchise. They will, you know what I mean? You can get them as clients, absolutely. But the reality is that they're paying franchise fees, and that's kind of what they see as the franchisor's job. Although I don't need to meet them to know the franchisor's letting them down.
yes.
But you're going to help them a lot differently than you are the other two that you described, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's look, Johnny, what you just said, like what you understand hair salons at a high level without even you know what I mean? Because you understand it. Yeah. So therefore, look, here's a different question for you. I own a hair salon, changed my life. What's the best advice you could give me as a hair salon? What's some real game-changing advice that you've seen or would deliver me on average?
The best advice I would give any salon owner is you've got to completely understand who your client is. Is it the person walking in the door to get a haircut or color, or is it the person that is paying you rent? Who's your first customer that you've got to take care of?
Yep, love it.
Because
and when you say, I just did for everybody listening, but I'll make sure so the person paying rent. So you mean like because you're renting out the chairs to a hair?
Right.
Explain that to everybody if you could, because they may or may not understand that.
Okay, so you're a salon and you've rented out all these chairs, all these stations and chairs to all these people. Then that's your first customer. Your first customer is the person that pays you rent, that pays you to be there. Your second layer of customer is the client of that person that rents that station. That's the other customer that you have. So the owner has to make both happy. And they have to make both happy in different ways, because a hairstylist is usually an artist, and they have, lack of a better word, quirky personalities.
Yeah, okay, love it. Like Pat, you a hair salon? Is Pat? Is that Pat? Is he cutting hair here and we don't know about it?
Yes. So yes, quirky personalities. You have to really completely understand them and treat them like family. These hairstylists, because what happens if you upset one stylist because they have all these other friends that are also just like them? If that one stylist decides to leave, they'll take 6 people with them. It happens over and over and over again.
Very incestuous, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that you know this, so solve the problem for me. How am I going to keep these people so they don't leave?
You've got to treat them like family, like you really deeply care about them, and you have to listen. You have to listen to them. You have to, even if they don't come to you, you've got to set aside time in your office away from the salon or down the street at Starbucks or whatever, and sit with them and say, hey, I'm here, what is it that Are you happy? What are your challenges? Listen to them.
Yep.
From a different place. And yeah, you've got to.
It's not all, but you said it's not all about money, correct?
It's not. No.
100% not. 100 million %.
Well, and that's why hairstylists in general don't really survive in the industry very long. It's number one, manual labor, and number two, they don't care about the money so much, and they need to.
Yeah.
Or they're not. Yeah, they're just going in and doing their art, grabbing some money, buying supplies, coming back and doing the same thing all over again, and they end up exhausted and burned out.
They go broke or burn out, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So number one, need to be very clear on who your client is. So is it the guy coming in to pay $20 for a haircut, or is it the person renting the chair? What's the second best bit of advice you could give me if I own a hair salon for me and everybody listening?
Got to know your numbers.
Yep.
You got to know your numbers. You got to know what not only what you're doing today, but what you're projecting out that you need to have each quarter.
Yeah. On a scale of one, I'm going to line up 100 hairdressers, right? Or let's go salon owners. They're going to be right in front of you. What percentage know their numbers, and what percentage are totally lost?
Even if, I would say maybe 3% know their numbers. Even if they have a computer system.
3%?
3% would know their numbers.
Okay.
Wow.
Even if they have a computer system to keep track of everything, which a lot of them don't. They don't have I would say my next piece of advice is you've got to get a software system that keeps track of your numbers.
But so just something about business that's power, right? Most people are looking for ideas. Like, hey, Pat, is this a good idea? Hey, Pat, will this idea work? Hey, Pat, is this idea profitable, right? Everybody's looking for ideas, new mousetraps, right? A significantly better way of doing it is to change your spidey senses to look for problems. And then the bigger the problem, the more people that have the problem, and then the easier I could identify them, like as in hair salon owners in California, right? That all have this exact problem. This is a really good thing because you can talk specifically to them. So what I was kind of looking for there, like, this is a problem, right? And you just said, I didn't expect that number. I was expecting 80-20-ish, right? But you go 97 out of 100 don't understand the numbers. Well, you just identified the problem. Go solve it. And by the way, the software is going to help you do that at a significantly higher level, but there's your niche. Like, that's your shtick. Same way that, Pat and I, we help people build 6-figure coaching businesses. We wake up in the morning, we go to bed at night. And this is sadly, right? We really love this stuff. This is what we're thinking about, right? Like, that's what you think about. Like, solve that problem. Like, how can you make it easier for them to actually know their numbers? Yeah. And get really obsessed with it.
Yes.
And then again, think of Pat's screen that you saw a minute ago. Remember, 5% tweaks, tweak. And game change. Anyway, so that, like, you know what I mean? Like, look for problems and then solve it. And even if they don't pay you, you solve it. Like, I talked to a guy today, wow, long-winded conversation, but he ended up on my phone. And I'm like, look, we can talk about that, but number one, I want to serve, right? It's like, tell me where, little red arrow, you are here. The second thing is, where are you trying, like, what are you trying to get to, right? So little red arrow, you are here. What's the bigger vision? And then coaching is drawing a line between basically that point and where they want to go. So you get totally obsessed with solving the I don't understand my numbers thing for hair salons and day spas and similar businesses, and you're going to crush it.
Yeah.
Again, you went to a problem. They know they have the problem, by the way, right? So you just go and tell them.
Yes, and what they do, first thing they go to is they don't want to know their numbers. They want to know how to do a new haircut or color. They think that's what's going to make them more money.
Yeah.
And so I have to come in. I have to be sneaky. I have to be the Trojan horse.
Well done. High five. High five. This is it. Well, look, how to build, hopefully you built, like, let's say you built a 7-figure hair salon, which you may not have, then just say 6, right? But how I built a 7-figure hair salon. So they're going to come to your webinar. They're going to, come to your one-to-one presentation. And then on that presentation, you're going to explain to them that understanding your numbers is the way that I got to 7 figures. And it's the reason that, and you're uncovering, do you know how many clients did you service last week? How many new clients did you service last week? What was your average unit of sale? How many bottles of shampoo went out of here? How many bottles of conditioner? They're going to go, I don't know. And you're going to go, look, this is a disaster. I'm going to solve the problem for you. Good news.
Yeah.
There you go. So this is for you and everybody listening. Very important. You got to unplug what you do with, like, what people will pay to see you do versus what you do. You got to disconnect those two. So you're right. It's not sexy to say that I'm going to help you with your numbers as a hair salon.
Right.
You'll show up and you'll be by yourself, right? You and nobody else. Maybe Pat and I will show up. Nobody else, right? So you don't put that. But how I built a 7-figure hair salon, this will get people to show up. And then when they get there, you teach them your magic, how you make it easier for them to follow their numbers. So there you go. What do you think, Johnny Urban?
Thank you.
Yep.
It was. I know so much about I know so much about the industry that I'm just hesitant to go into it.
Okay, but then just pick a different one, right? But it's the same thing. Just look for a problem and go solve it. But just get out of your head and just start helping people. And the software is designed to just make it really systematic, make it super straightforward. Like when you go in, like you're looking at the Profit Jumpstart 12. Like if you go into the Deep Dive 40, you go into any business and you tweak their business slightly in 40 different areas, it's game over. Like it's game over. Right? Remember, the hair salon is trying to hit $1 million, and it's the stupidest goal of all time because they get hit $1 million and because they don't understand their numbers, make very little profit. They could even lose. They get hit $1 million and lose money. They get hit $1 million and make $80,000 of profit and have really slim margins. Right? I say this all the time, but it is so important. Like, what do you really want to do? They want to own a $500,000 salon with ridiculous like margins that are like 25%, whereas the industry average is 10. Right? How do you do it? Little subtle tweaks in all the different areas.
Yeah.
So there you go, my love. I hope that was helpful, Johnny. A little longer than we planned, but I hope that was good.
It was. Thank you so much.
Carl,
yes, Pat. Please, please do.
So Johnny, I don't know, probably 13, 14 years ago, I was talking to a guy who used to be Tony Robbins' partner, Chet Holmes. Have you heard of Chet? And
yes.
So, I was talking to Chet, and we were talking software basically. And Chet's big deal was that, we were talking about this whole idea of the software actually, and it wasn't anything like it was a long time ago. It was very, very, very primitive to what we see now. And Chet was running the business breakthroughs division of that he had with Tony Robbins there.
Yeah.
And one thing we learned very quickly is that people like Tony, Chet, very charismatic, but they're not systematic in the way to grow a business. And so what you've got in front of you, this is the Jumpstart 12. I'll also open up a Jumpstart 40, which in actuality is, we've combined a lot of areas like sales team into one area. So as I look at the software here, I can just toggle the open all here on the side. And you see all these areas we have to look at growing a business. Now, one area, let's say leads. I'll look at this area of leads. We have this opening script, so we can explain it to a client. We're not going to let them see the screen, but we'll explain it, and they'll think we're genius. And we have just a few questions here, 5 questions. And tell me about your lead gen process. Do you use direct response marketing? Do you follow the conversion equation? If you don't understand what these mean, they have a little bubble here to just help you. And again, you're not going to show this to a client. You're just going to say, hey, well, let me tell you, Sue, about direct response marketing, and you just read this to them. Same with conversion equations. So you're always sounding like a genius. Now, this is the Jumpstart. So imagine what would happen if we got into a breakthrough 40 and where we actually have 40 different areas to look at to grow. And I just went into one area of leads. Now, I've already started here, but tell me about your lead gen process. There's a lot more than 5 questions here. So I opened up this poster. This is available in the Resource Center. And this is the back end of the leads post, or of the leads breakthrough 40. So you can see again here, we say leads are prospects are the fuel of any business. I'll make it a little bit bigger. It's the same explanation. It could be a little bit bigger, but there's also little scripts here that you can help explain things. And then the first question, tell me about your lead generation process. Now, that's an open-ended question. We then have yes or no questions. So yes or no, do you now or have you in the past used any of the following for generating leads? And we give some examples. If they say no, we're going to say, well, why not? And what would be the impact on your marketing if you could successfully employ 2 or 3 of these simultaneously? If they say yes, well, which ones have you used? Which ones were successful? Are you still using them? What we're trying to do here is be extremely systematic so that if you're anything like me, you would go into a consulting coaching situation. You might talk to someone who owns a hair salon, and then you walk out after half an hour. Maybe you have the sale or don't have the sale or whatever, but you do think, oh man, I wish I'd asked that question. Why didn't I ask that question? You start thinking of questions you know later when you're having a shower at night or something, you're in bed, it's like, oh, I could have done that. What we're trying to do with this, the Breakthrough 40, is to think of every possible scenario for you. So now as I shrink this down a little bit, you can see that, you know, we've asked, are you still using them? Well, if no, we go one direction. If yes, we go a different. And we start looking at the comprehensive nature of this Breakthrough 40, how big it is.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there, you know, in the Breakthrough 40 assessment, there are around 1,000 questions, and obviously you don't want to ask them all, but you realize what you can realize is in the back end. This is probably the biggest one. Everything we're going to do is going to lead you down a path where you can find a breakthrough. And so if they say, are you still using them? If no, why not? What would be the impact if you did? Okay, you find a breakthrough, but you're not done because you follow the dots. And that goes all the way down here. Well, now that we've reviewed the foundation for getting leads, it's necessary to capture your prospect's attention. How do you capture the names? Do you then use these in your marketing? If no, if yes, do you do it consistently? What's been your best lead gen success to date? Are you continuing in it? Everything leads to a monetization of an impact here. So the thing about the software is you don't see all those branches. All you see is the next question. And then obviously it doesn't lead you through all the questions. It just leads you through the best question. So you are now, I can promise you 100%, you can find breakthroughs for any business more systematically than Tony ever will, unless he gets his hands on the software. I don't think he will. So, because I don't think we're going to license it to Tony. You'd have to write Carl a pretty darn big check to do that, right, Carl? So,
correct.
Yeah, or have let's do a partnership where it's Leader Publishing Worldwide and Tony company. So, but you can go through, and this literally will take you, like, I've done it before, and I'm a high D, I move quickly, and it's like 4.5, 5 hours for me. So most people, they're looking at 8 to 10, 12 hours to get through all these questions. And these don't even count the digital marketing questions. So this is very, 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 very systematic in your ability to really pinpoint the breakthroughs possible for any business. You're only going to do this Breakthrough 40, this deep dive, if you've already signed them as a client and they're paying you well to do it. Otherwise, you use the Jumpstart 12 or the Jumpstart 40.
Okay.
So yeah, rest assured, we're being very systematic here. Don't think of it as like you have to go through it all. Think of it as like tools in a toolbox. And you're going to go and help a daycare. It's like, or a salon or something. It's like, okay, how can I close them as a client first? And then how can I give them a full assessment to give them the best possibility and probability of success the fastest way possible?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
There we go. Johnny, this is like a one-to-one call. It's over, everybody. We're going home.
Well, yeah. Well, my gain is their loss. Thank you.
So
That's cool. Okay, awesome.
for everyone
There you go.
here, this Leads poster, go to resources, go to software, marketing assets, click on that. And it's here close to the top, Leads poster for profit acceleration. And we also include a PowerPoint because you might want to put some of your own branding on there, your own website link on there, I think. So you can, just change the PowerPoint and save it as a PDF if you want to. Then you use it in your own marketing. Send it out to clients and say, hey, look, this is the depth of what I can do for you. It's just like eye candy for people. They have to walk every path. So anyway, there you go.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Well, there we go. All right, Johnny. We appreciate it, buddy. Good
I'm
stuff. By the way,
excited.
Daniel, let me see if Daniel Hassler's here. Do you know Daniel Hassler?
Heard the
No.
name.
Tony Robbins World?
I don't
Tony?
think so,
Anyways,
no.
Number two, anyways, is number 2 sales guy for a decade, long time. Anyways, he's a client. He works with us, and he's a fabulous guy. So you love Tony Robbins, no doubt?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Love him too. Cool. All right, Johnny, we're going to put you back on mute. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, we're going to keep moving. Ahmad just patiently had his hand up for ages. Ahmad Khan, we're coming, buddy. You're self-muted. You got to unmute yourself, Ahmad. Calling Ahmad. Attendee is muted. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Ahmad, hey, you're live.
Yes. How are you? Right.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much for this call. So I need a very quick help. I did a PAS 12 with one of my prospects 3 days ago. The company valuation came at 432,000.
Yep.
Then we did the JS 12. We were able to identify an opportunity of increasing their profit by 400%. However, the valuation stays at $268,000. So we got confused that there is a potential increase in the revenue for nearly like $1 million, but the company valuation does not increase at all. It actually reduced. So both of us were confused, and I was like, I have to be on this call to ask this question and have clarity.
So did you go through and answer the questions here in the valuation section?
Yes. And then after doing that, the evaluation came at 432. But in the graph, it shows 268, and it just stayed there.
I would have to see your screen and look at your numbers to see what you did, because I'd have to do that. I can't, it's really difficult to answer why it, I mean, because it, let me just say, Ahmad, that every time I meet with someone, I find something they've done wrong, and they go, oh, that's what we did wrong. Okay. So, it may or may not be the, so, yeah.
Is there a possibility we can do like, I don't know, a 15-minute follow-up? I can show you my screen. Or
absolutely.
You're welcome to log in and then see, because it's just my first prospect, so it's easy to find that person or the client.
I'm happy to meet with you, and let me see if, why don't you shoot me an email, and then I'll send you my calendar link and we can meet.
Perfect. Sorry, just to have for clarity purpose, can the name please? Is this
Yeah,
Carl or
Patrick.
Patrick? Okay.
Yeah, Patrick at noresults-nofee.com.
Yeah, I have your email address. So yeah, okay.
Okay.
I will shoot you an email right away.
Great. Yeah. No, I'd be
There you
happy to meet and
Awesome.
look through it, because it always concerns me if there's something that's not working right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to see what it is, why it wouldn't. Oh, are you on a Chrome browser?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
this
there
could
we
be
go.
it. Yeah. Do everything you did in Firefox and watch what happens. Probably work.
Yeah,
Chrome
I'm
is
on.
real funky.
Yeah, Chrome
Mhm.
will do all kinds of things to this valuation. It'll turn the questions upside down, put them, question 10 first and then 9. I've seen that. I would try it again on an Edge browser or a Firefox and see if that
I can
solves
do
it.
that.
Yeah, if that doesn't work, just reach out to me and we can meet. We'll figure it out.
Okay, perfect. I will do that. Thank
Yep.
you so much.
Cool. All right,
You're
Ahmad.
welcome.
Good stuff, buddy. Gonna put
Cheers.
you back on mute. And by the way, and again, guys, what Pat just said, make sure when you're using the software, and this isn't about profit acceleration software. This is software generally. Chrome is just renowned for being very clicky and funky. So yeah, you want to use something other than Firefox is the one that I use, but something other than Google Chrome. All right. Irene has got a question for us. Irene Koopman. There you go. Hang on, Irene. There she is. Irene, hey, you're live. What's happening?
We're pressing the buttons at the same time. Yeah, I just got up to get another glass of water and missed where that question sheet was in the resources. So if you don't mind, if you could just repeat how I can find that. The one where if they say yes, go here. If they say no, go there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so go to resources and then scroll down a little bit to software marketing assets. You see that?
Oh, here it is. Yes. Okay.
And just click on that. And you might have to scroll up. Sometimes it dumps you in the middle of the page. It says leads poster for profit acceleration software. I have to change the date there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on that now, but I only see a video and a couple of charts.
Yeah, scroll up in that page.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Oh, great. Thank you. Perfect. I'm going to put that in.
Is there any other question for us here, Irene, while we got you live? Have you been using the software?
Yes, I have. So I do have one. When I do the Jumpstart 12, I go over the conversion equation. I don't have the time to look it up now, see which question it is exactly. But the last part of the conversion equation is an irresistible offer. And then when I go further down, there's a whole other section called irresistible offer. And I'm wondering, am I supposed to do this twice? Because it seems like the irresistible offer you would come out with as part of your conversion equation, you're going to use again. Or is it suggested that we do 2 different irresistible offers?
Pat,
Where's that?
Where's
yeah,
this?
no, I'm wondering where this is. What are you talking about? What area?
Jumpstart 12.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the first one. It might be under market dominating position or leads. Towards the bottom. No, it's not it. Okay, go to leads.
Could be okay. Oh, compelling offer. Look at that.
Yeah, it says, right. And then, yeah. So I'm assuming I only create one compelling offer with my clients. I just want to clarify.
It's just, when you're trying to generate leads, just having a killer upfront offer. Like, again, we find anybody $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. your ability to generate leads is going to dramatically increase as soon as you do that.
Okay.
But yeah, then we have compelling offer where we're going a little bit deeper. Could possibly be seen as being kind of a duplicate, but not everybody is doing all 12 areas, right? So
Yes.
I feel like if you do leads, you should definitely know that helping them create a killer offer is the best way to get them to give you their email address or to phone you or what have you. So that's kind of why it's in there, but it's comprehensive topic. So it's actually got its own section to go a little bit deeper. So
actually, while we're
Pat,
on the,
could I just ask Pat, would you agree, add anything to what I just said?
Yeah. In the software, there's probably 3 or 4 different places where we're asking the same question. And the reason that Carl said, it's like, you're not going to use every area every time. It's very unlikely that you would, or very rare. And if that happens, you could come here and say, okay, we're looking at compelling offer again. Now we've already, let's just say we're in leads and we've used this and we've put 5% here on this one. What the client will like, you don't want to say, hey, we're going to do it again. They'll maybe not all the clients, but some people will call you on it. It's like, hey, aren't we like, what's the word? We're getting the same impact twice here and doubling up there. And so what you want to do is just be aware of is like, if you've asked it once, you come again, you say, look, you know what? I don't want to put 5% again because we did that in the first one, but I do want to record a small impact here because I want the software to recognize that this is an area we need to address. So I'm just going to put 1% in there and just to make sure that we go back and address this in our implementation steps. Is that fair? And they're like, oh, absolutely. And they're going to respect you so much more because you're not trying to inflate the numbers on them. So I've had that before. I've seen that before. And every time that I've heard of it, yeah, people will respect that when you do that.
That makes sense, especially because the first time you probably if they told you 10%, you probably made 5% anyway. So 1 more percent is still within the range.
Yeah, sure. There you go. That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Irene, we appreciate that. You were saying something about Fantastic. Did something help you earlier, just for the benefit of everybody, for Pat and I, but for everybody listening? What was it that you thought was impactful?
Oh, that was that poster that I had asked you to help me find.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let me share. I want to share a way I used this poster in the past. I created a part of it, and I wanted to go to it was a trade booth or a booth put on by the Chamber of Commerce. And so I was a member of was it Chamber? Yeah, Chamber of Commerce. And at a place where, I could pay money, it's like $50 or something, and have my own table. So I took a piece of this and I printed it out onto a big, like a big banner that I used as a tablecloth for my table. And I had so many people coming over saying, hey, what is this? Let me walk through those questions. And I got a really good client out of it, who I had a client for a couple of years, because they wanted to walk every step of it. And then they wanted to know more. And then they saw I had mind maps over different areas as well. So it was really compelling as like a visual thing. But I mean, you could take this poster alone. It's in a PDF, so it enlarges really well, and create a giant poster, if you're like one of those stand-up banners or something. And if you're displaying somewhere, really impressive, or even if it's your background behind your office, maybe it's like, when you're on a Zoom call, it's like people go, what's that behind you? And you can walk people through it. So
wait,
just different ways.
I thought this was a tool that you use yourself and you don't show it to the client. You're actually using it as a sales tool. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I use it as a sales tool. And that's why it's in the marketing assets for you, because you could take this and print it out, and you could send it to clients. You could send it in an email as well. Just use it any way you want to get more people coming in the door.
Yeah. And Irene, maybe just again help you and everybody listening. Like curiosity. Like if you look at this, like just kind of scroll up and down if you could. Like you guys, the acid test is this: does it make you curious, right? And the fact that you saw it for a couple seconds, and if you saw it and you got excited about it, and I know that I got excited about it. Pat obviously got excited about it because he created it. That means others are also thinking it's pretty cool. It's evoking curiosity, and curiosity is like a sales superpower. I wonder what if. So just imagine. So I would just say to, Dave, the chiropractor, imagine, Dave, if we went through your business. Remember, we've got 40 areas, but if we just went through one and we went this deep, imagine, the financial impact and the, profitable, the windfall profits that we would be able to find. And I think the guy's probably going to say, yeah. Right. And then I would follow that up with 497. When you open up your software, there's a reason why it's right there, but 497 million weighted algorithmic sequences. When you wonder how the hell do we get that number, like look at your screen. This is why there's actually far more than 497. Like Pat, if you were to estimate how many, we just used 497 million because it just seemed like a huge number, and we kind of collectively agreed that this was a good number. Yeah. What would, like, I don't know, is it a bill? What is it? It's insane, correct?
I would say if I'm looking at the software and where's my 497 million? Is it on there?
Yeah, just click there. You'll see it in the right there. Yeah.
If we put the true numbers, the zeros would go across the screen.
There you go.
So, but no one would believe it, and it wouldn't look good. So yeah. We just said, okay, let's make it smaller. And we say 497 million plus. Let's make it smaller so that it's more believable, because literally the zeros go across the screen. We stopped counting; it got so big. Yeah.
So, but Irene, again, benefit of that is that I think if you're talking to Dave, the chiropractor, and you tell him you're going to take his business and rip it through 497 million weighted algorithmic sequences, that's going to populate a roadmap, and then him and his staff are going to be able to deploy over the next 12 months. And then they were looking at something as sexy and crazy and curiosity invoking as what you were just looking at with that leads poster. I think you got yourself an appointment.
Wow.
All right? So,
thank you.
So again, curiosity, sales superpower. There we go, Irene. Thank you so much. We're going to put you back on mute. Good stuff. Good stuff. And Pat, we're almost over, but I think Tony had his hand up. Tony Plies, we're coming for you, buddy.
Yeah, you already answered it, Carl.
What was it?
The question I was going to ask, and leads on question 5, it asked for the impact when using a compelling offer with the conversion equation, and then under compelling offer, it asks the impact of a risk-free compelling offer. So I thought those were kind of the same, but I thought the answer was sufficient.
Beautiful. There we go. How you doing, Tony? Doing good?
Good. How about you?
Great, buddy. Doing great. Well, there we go. We had the same. We're struggling to get questions here sometimes. We got duplicates now coming through, Tony. We're going to the next level here, Kenya, Pat, and I.
Yeah. Hey, bud. I need to get on your schedule sometime too. I'll put that down.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, do that. No worries, Tony.
Thanks.
Cool bananas, buddy. Put you back on mute. Well, there we go. Kenya, Pat, as always, you are a magician. Any parting words for our fine folks here, buddy?
Yeah, it's not worth practicing. Don't even waste your time. The opposite of what you thought.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing reverse psychology with you folks, okay? Because they're not listening loudly enough or clearly enough. But yeah, get in there and practice your software, guys. That's what you got to do. Get in there, just play with it, make up. It's a chiropractor, just do the Q&A by yourself. It's a dentist, do the Q&A by yourself. It's a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, do the Q&A by yourself. You get really familiar with it, and look out. And by the way, if you haven't booked in to do role play, sorry, could you just open up the role play button? Just go to noresults-nofee.com. That's our domain, right? /role play. If you haven't done this, guys, you really should. Johnny was talking earlier. She's booked in with Holly. So if you want to do this, it costs $197. So don't feel like you need to do it. It's completely up to you. It is an added bonus, but for $197, you can't get Starbucks coffee, and you get 3 professional phone calls with Holly. And then in fact, you get Wally as well, because he actually does number 3, the very difficult one. He's a long-term client. And so yeah, Wally does one of them as well. But the bottom line is that you go through and do this role play, incredibly effective. If you want to sample, if you look at Pat's screen exactly where he is now, you see here's Holly's, coaching with Billy Dixon. So you can watch him, somebody do it. Anyway, what's that?
Okay. So if you go to noresults-nofee.com/roleplays/cam, and this is the latest one. This is one of our coaches in Chicago. And we've got all 3 sessions here. And you look at Cam going from his, looking like probably, and he'll probably laugh at me if I say this, but looking like a blue collar coach with his dresser in the background and all that stuff, and the way he presents, to looking like he's, a $1 million coach. And now he's like Grant Cardone, their multi-million-dollar coach. And the
I love it.
The transformation he went through and Holly talks about is brilliant in 3 sessions. So you can go there and watch those. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Obviously, they're an hour long, but you can see Holly's background. She's in a bakery. Second one, it doesn't show, but second one, she's a hair salon role play, and third one, she's a chiropractor. So, yeah, have a look at these, and it'll give you an idea of what Holly takes you through.
Could we get this, because that's gold? I hadn't seen that. I love like the 1, 2, 3 where he's blue collar and then he's like hardcore pro in the third one. Like that's what happens, guys. The feedback is insane. Can we get this on the other page where how they click Billy? Can we get it right below that? Because should all be in this. Yeah, can we maybe let's do that, because this should be let's make sure it's easy accessible. But in the meantime, just go to roleplay/cam, guys, and you'll be looking at it, give you a bit of an idea. Johnny, I think you should do that for sure, because you're booked with Holly and you want to get a bit of a feel for it before you do it. But there you go, guys. We want to do this, and again, it's $197, but it's for 3 sessions, and honestly, very intelligent use of a whopping $197 in my humble opinion. And Holly just happens to be not only lovely, but that is Kenya Pat's wife. So we're on good authority here to talk about how awesome she is.
You'll see her in Cancun.
There we go. Yeah, if you're not coming to Cancun, that's another thing. Get your butt to Cancun with us. All of our coaches that have come to the live events. This was we missed last year. It should be year 7, but it's year 6 because we had a pause thanks to our lovely virus. Ran rampant across the world. But anyways, come to Cancun. It's an absolute bloody hoot. You meet Kenya Pat, meet myself, meet Adrian, meet the entire team, Big Al, 6'7" Chris. He's actually 6'5", but I call him 6'7" Chris because it's more fun that way. And everybody, and Craig and everybody. So yeah, you guys should, and all the software guys, right? Yeah, William, James, Calvin will be there, Joy, William's wife. Anyways, everybody's coming. Holly's coming. Holly, you meet Holly. So there you go, folks. Anyways, awesome. Kenya Pat, as always, bud, we appreciate you. And for all you folks, thanks for coming and playing full out. And we will see you. Today is Tuesday, so we'll see you guys on Thursday. Same time, same place. Adios, folks. Bye-bye.